made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Yep, you want your boy? Go pick him up. He's over here on a fucking concrete where I left him.
On an individual level, we have to learn that they are vile.
Not worth the calories.
And you're Gen Z and you won't date me.
The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know.
Gentlemen, welcome. Please find a seat and relax. We have a lot to discuss. Welcome one and all. I'm KC.
And I am DC.
And we are two goddamn gentlemen, bringing to you this and every week a celebration of all things Mad Lib TED Talks and Lotolele Cellmates.
I'm sorry, all right? How many times can I say I'm sorry? I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
A few more. Head over to twogoddamngentlemen.com to cast your ballot in the Hall of Gentlemen voting booth, as well as find a link to our Twitter, a link to our YouTube, and a link to our Patreon, where you can gain access into our live Discord during all free and bonus episodes. Ladies of the Night coming up next week. Leave us a voicemail to be heard on the show at 321-POV-FUCK. And don't forget to subscribe on whatever podcast feed you use. If it happens to not be Apple Podcasts, please sell your soul, switch over, and give us a review to read. DC, if you would please read back the minutes to last week's meeting.
Casey, last week's episode was ridiculous. First of all, I can't believe you brought in somebody as crazy as who you did. Dog the Bounty Hunter. Totally a gentleman, though, to the tune of +8. So I think it's like the dead wife sympathy he probably got, all that. I don't know. He was all right.
He's got like 5 living ex-wives. I mean, the balance is there for him.
It's there. SnakeThing, not a gentleman somehow. And I think still alive in jail somehow. So good job to him. A -11, not a gentleman.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah. That's a bad first week.
That's a bad first week.
That's a bad start.
Yeah. More YouTube hate from Harry Vox fans. It continues to be our most controversial episode, but it is not controversial that Harry Vox is the ultimate gentleman as of now at +53, followed by your boy Mel Gibson at +42 and Brigham Young. At least he's not first place at +35.
That's yeah, you got that going for you.
Yeah, why don't you scrape the dregs there at the bottom?
Yeah, bottom 3, -91, Maddox. Second to last at a -118, but +1 championship hat, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And -322 now for Toots, Tommy Tudor.
Yo, did you hear Logan Paul saying that that Mayweather just got lucky 50 times in a row? That was his...
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I thought about bringing the Logan press conference, some of that, or the Jake hat thing, but everybody's seen it. They're gentlemen. We know that.
We know, guys.
Jake's case, you guys have voted the opposite way. Sure.
I don't know why. So, I understand the Tommy Tudor thing.
Haters.
He's terrible. That's the only one I regret bringing in. Of all the gentlemen I brought in, he's the only one that I actually regret. Casey, we have a gentleman update. I found this just kind of funny. I was going through some gentlemen. I was like, who's prolific? Who's still putting shit out there all the time that we haven't heard from in a while. Boogie, 2988. You may remember the big fatso that fired a gun. The big fatso that fired the gun at the school.
That's what I remember him.
He's not worth the calories guy.
Oh, right. Right.
So, he gets on YouTube it might have been a couple weeks ago, but we haven't heard from him in a while. So I took some clips. Casey, if you would for me, please play the first clip.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at your live again through the power of the internet. And today on Twitter, I asked you guys what you would like to see me upload here on this channel. And I want to ask you at the same time what you would like to see.
Oh boy, all right, let's see. I want to see blindfolded running in traffic. That'd be great. Reenacting the movie American History X. That'd be cool if he did that on his channel.
From which character's point of view?
I think we all know. What else? Cooking with Tide Pods. That'd be fun. There's a lot of things I'd like to see Boogie do. But he has some ideas of his own, or rather, the people of Twitter have an idea for him. Next clip.
But somebody on Twitter suggested I make a bucket list and share that with you. If you're familiar with the concept, a bucket list is a list of things that you want to accomplish before you leave this earth.
Which for other people would be like 2021 plans, you know? Boogie's going to be dead very soon, is what I'm saying.
Boogie's on the way out. Is that what you're suggesting?
I think so. And you know what? Good on him. This is some huge self-awareness that you rarely see out of people like Boogie. Next clip.
And since I'm a morbidly obese old man, I probably should get on this list right away.
Right away. That's a great idea. Right the fuck away.
Lose weight is the first item on the bucket list.
lose weight is the first item, because then your bucket list can then have a few more lines on it.
Every pound
you don't take care of that one.
A new line appears for every 10 pounds that you shed.
Right. It's like the portrait of Gray. What's his name? Dorian Gray?
Oh, Dorian Gray.
Except it's his bucket list. The more weight he loses, the... Anyway. So, losing weight, obviously. Boogie is a little bit basic, I think, in what he decides to go with, but it's something. Go ahead and play the next clip.
So number one, I absolutely want to travel more. And you'll be seeing that here on this YouTube channel very soon. So like I said before, I'm traveling next week up to St. Louis to spend time with my friend Jacob the Carpetbagger.
Who the fuck? What? That's not traveling. On my bucket list, I want to go to St. Louis and hang with my buddy, the Carpetbagger. What the fuck, Boogie? So Boogie's up to nothing. So that's the update. He's doing
beautiful.
nothing. So good job.
That a boy.
That's all I got for updates.
Special, DC.
Yeah, I thought so.
Boogie needs to. He's a street performer, right? He's got to be out amongst the people to really bring his full repertoire of entertainment.
Yeah, like
right?
Gacy, like Gacy. You mean kind of entertainer?
just like that. Yeah, exactly. All right, is it nomination time, DC?
It's nomination time. Casey, we got a short week. Someone's like getting evicted from their house tomorrow, I think, or something. So we got to go. We got to go.
There's going to be carpeting here.
That's what she said.
Next show, but it means that this whole setup needs to get taken down. It's 11:12 p.m. and I'm editing this shit tonight. Let's dive into some nominations quick, DC.
Let's go.
My gentleman was born to the name Raymond Thierry Liebling on August 18th, 1933. He became a Polish... Well, he didn't become a Polish man. He was
no one becomes Polish. No one chooses that.
He was born of Polish and French descent and went on to become a film director, producer, writer, and actor. That sounds impressive, does it not?
No, they all are. Everybody in LA is everything. I'm a producer of this Instagram video I made this morning. You fucking idiot. Get the hell out of here.
What if I told you he's exclusively not in LA because you know him as Roman Polanski?
Ooh, boy. Yeah. I don't know much about Roman Polanski, but like the imagery of diddling comes to mind. And casting couching, I think.
No, not quite casting couch material, but I learned quite a bit about our gentlemanly nominee.
Okay.
All right, let's dive in, DC. So he is all of those things. He's an award-winning director. We'll go through it. But, okay, sure, I won't bury the lead like I like to sometimes. He is also a fugitive from the U.S. criminal justice system after fleeing the country in 1977 while awaiting sentencing for an unlawful intercourse with a minor.
Oh, okay. So, he belongs right in the list somewhere of our guys.
He certainly does. He had to be featured at some point. And here he is. But anyway, DC, forget about all that. Let's actually learn some stuff about this guy. A gentleman is a survivor.
Mm-hmm.
As we turn back the clock. Now, I mentioned that he's Polish. He was born in 1933.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Not
Let the guy fuck who he wants. He's been through a lot. Let him go through a little more.
So he lived in Krakow when Poland was invaded by Nazi Germany. Lived in the ghetto with his family. Attended school until all the Jewish kids were expelled at the same time, which I thought was well choreographed, but probably rude. He got separated from his parents in the ghetto. His dad was brought to one concentration camp. He watched his dad get dragged off to get taken away. He did end up reuniting with his dad. His mom was brought to Auschwitz, and the Nazis are usually pretty on brand, so I think you can probably figure that out.
Yeah, she went for a haircut.
Yeah, she lived there for the rest of her life. He witnessed some crazy shit as a kid. He told one story, quote, "One older woman at the rear of the column couldn't keep up. A German officer kept prodding her back into line, but she fell down on all fours. Suddenly a pistol appeared in the officer's hand. There was a loud bang. Blood came welling out of her back. I ran straight into the nearest building, squeezed into a smelly recess beneath some wooden stairs, and didn't come out for hours. I developed a strange habit, clenching my fists so hard that my palms became permanently calloused." Imagine putting your fingernails through your palm to the point where it's calloused forever.
Yeah, imagine thinking you could get a callus forever. What an idiot.
Is that? Oh yeah, I guess you can't really do that. Can you?
No, if you if you don't do
scarring,
anything, it'll just
it would be
anyway.
scarring, not callous, right?
Yeah, sure.
It would be scarring.
I'm just being pedantic. I'm sorry.
You're allowed. There was a Roman Catholic woman who made a promise to his father, as all of this was starting to deteriorate, that she would get him to safety. And after he was able to, I guess, wander off, she found him, got him to some safety. He started blending in marginally well, unless you count almost blowing it multiple times. There was one story that was told. He was in a one-on-one being grilled by a Catholic priest. Not that way this time.
This time. That time.
The priest was quoted as saying, "You are not one of us." Now, DC, I want you to take a guess. What was the punishment for hiding a Jew in your house?
Oh man, you have to give them your milk, I think. If the documentary was right that I watched the other day.
That's right. That's correct. You have to give them the milk. No, yeah, the Nazis are always on brand. So these people were taking a risk, and young Roman couldn't keep his shit together. But eventually, things got better. But not yet. Because one day, during this time, he was roaming through the street and was invited into an activity where he was, quote, "forced to take part in a cruel and sadistic game in which German soldiers took shots at him for target practice." Further perpetualizing the Nazi stormtrooper stereotype. But
right. They can't hit shit. That's funny.
If it was target practice.
Have you ever thought of like how stupid fucking lightsabers really are? Like they're just like, yeah, just make it a laser gun. Why does the laser have to stop after 4 feet? Just have it keep going. Oh yeah, they have them. Just do that.
It only goes 4 feet, DC. Everyone knows this.
Everyone knows this. It is known. You're right.
So let's get into what eventually his career became, which is movies. He fell in love with them as a kid before the war started. Now, there were no movies during the war, except German war videos played in the market square or whatever.
Sure.
He claims that there was anti-Jewish rhetoric in there, but who knows? After the war, he became a young actor in Poland. Directed, shot, and starred in his first film at 22 years old. The movie was called Rower, and it depicted a real altercation that happened between our young gentleman when he met the notorious Krakow felon Janusz Zuba, that I probably got that pretty well wrong, who arranged to sell Roman a bicycle, but instead beat him up and stole all his money.
Okay.
Now, that sounds like a bad guy, but he's actually worse. In real life, the offender was arrested while fleeing after fracturing Polanski's skull and was executed for the 3 murders he had committed.
Oh.
So
commits 3 murders, and then he's like, oh, man, I just love crime so much. Hey, kid, I'll sell you a bike. I should be busy right now getting the fuck out of here. But hey, do you want a bike? Also, smash. Just smash your skull for no reason.
So, all of that being said, a gentleman always moves on and finds his talent. Though, to be fair, moving on applies to most things Roman does. He released his first feature-length film, Knife in the Water, at 29 years old in Poland, and was nominated for the U.S. Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film. So just 29, first feature-length film, talented guy. He gets married to Barbara something Lass. It's Kwiatkowska is what I'm going to go with. In 1959. You can see this lovely couple here.
That's him?
Yeah, that was young Roman Polanski right there.
Jesus Christ. Looks like your son. Like on his like baptism day. Like, oh, this is great.
You're so not wrong.
Or confirmation, whatever.
They divorced 2 years later. I assume she dried up. At 35, he moved to the United States and cemented his status by directing the horror film Rosemary's Baby, which I was surprised to find out is not just a pumpkin beer. Apparently
no. The beer was named after that. That's a good beer, though. That's a good beer.
So he then married the beautiful young actress Sharon Tate in 1968.
Oops.
Which leads me to another gentlemanly point. A gentleman always knows when not to be home.
Yep. Or at the World Trade Center. Wherever you happen to not be that day, a gentleman is always not there.
That's great.
A gentleman.
In 1969, Sharon and 4 friends brutally murdered by members of the Manson family. We all know this. Affected his personality greatly. He was energetic, hopeful, and became eternally pessimistic after this happened. He was filming in Europe at the time. Now, DC, before I move on, I glanced over that by saying, Sharon Tate, the Mansons. We all know this. We move on, right? I have to pause this for a second because I have to confess something embarrassing.
What's that?
When I went to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I spent the entire movie very confused because I had no fucking idea what I was watching. I didn't know any of that story. None of it.
Yeah, I don't think I did
at all.
Or do either.
Yeah, okay, so...
Except that somebody was she pregnant at the time?
She was, yeah.
Yeah, so I did know that. But not until American Horror Story, I think. So, I mean,
So I watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, these were the things I knew. I was like, all right, what the fuck is going on here? It's like Charles Manson. That guy, he did some bad shit, right? He got people killed. Wait. Where does Roman Polanski come into this? I've heard stand-up comedians reference that guy. Who's that guy? And that was basically the whole movie for me. So, we all know this. Go read about it. It's interesting. And if you watch the movie, that's not a documentary. Not like that other one that you were talking about.
Not like the other documentary.
Not like that other one.
By Quentin Tarantino.
So the movie was confusing as fuck. But a gentleman moves on, so I will. Our gentleman bounces back as any gentleman would, making, amongst other movies, Macbeth, Chinatown, The Pianist, Ghostwriter, and An Officer and a Spy. The gentleman is always accomplished. He's received 5 Oscar nominations. In 2003, he won the Academy Award for Best Director for The Pianist. 2003.
Hold on. Didn't you say that he was exiled?
Did. Is there no more gentlemanly move than getting
Who accepted
exiled?
his award? Who accepted his award on his behalf? The girl?
Actor Harrison Ford accepted the award on Polanski's behalf and presented the Oscar to him at the Deauville Film Festival in Europe a few months later.
Lovely.
So there you go.
So who was not extraditing him this whole time? Was he in Poland because he had dual citizenship or
France what? We're going to get into it, but France.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. France didn't do it. We'll cover it.
Okay.
He also received 2 Golden Globes, 2 BAFTAs, a Palme d'Or at the 2002 Cannes Film Festival, France.
Dude, I already think the Oscars are the dumbest thing in the world. So everything like below that,
Below it?
everything I don't care. Like I've heard of
Oh,
Golden Globes, and then everything else I'm just like it's probably their like life achievement. Like somebody who is just in the industry, not a Roman Polanski, would like murder for one of these like other ones,
Oh, of
FAFSA or whatever the hell that one was.
Oh, yeah. No, I could not watch any of this ever. But my gentleman, he earned these things, so I will give him the credit he deserves. Multiple Caesar Awards. I know you're excited about that one, don't lie.
Ooh, okay, now I'm back in. Now that you've told me there's Caesar Awards, I'm back in. All right, now what else?
That one was in 2020, by the way. And that one led to a bunch of protests. Because in 2003, things where people just didn't care as much, I guess. Or,
in 2003, we were going to war. Like, we had actual... Well,
We had
I
shit
mean,
to
we're
do.
still at war, but we've forgotten about that, apparently. It's more important that a person who tricked a young adult into consensual sex before she was 18 times around the sun. Oh, good God.
That protest led to tear gas, which, take that, idiots, because all protesters should get
Oh,
tear gas
13?
immediately.
Never mind. Disavow.
Oh.
She's 13?
Did
Disavow.
Did they tell you?
Disavow. Thank you, chat.
Chat
Thank you,
told
chat.
you. I was just going to leave it there and let you find out soon. If, by the way,
13-year-olds
DC,
can do shit.
we'll hear an argument for that coming up. Just for the record on protesters, if I'm ever getting like disemboweled in public, please don't protest. Just go to work or something.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and if a cop kills me, I hope the first thing you ask is, "Oh shit, what did DC do?" I hope that's the first question you ask, because that would be the right question.
If you get shot by a cop, my first thought is going to be, I hope he was jaywalking. God,
Yeah.
I hope he was jaywalking.
Oh God, I hope it was a counterfeit 10.
Oh, so
That'll show
we already
those
heard.
racists.
We already heard that Harrison Ford accepted an Academy
Yes.
Award on his behalf.
Yes.
Now we'll hear from Ewan McGregor talking about Polanski. He's a legend. I've never examined a director and the way they work so much before. He's brilliant, just brilliant, and absolutely warrants his reputation as a great director. So this guy very popular, DC, amongst a lot of people. Now, one thing we've learned, especially from Dog the Bounty Hunter, if at first you don't succeed, try again. So he's 0 for 2. 1989, Polanski marries Emmanuelle Siegner right here.
Okay.
They have two children together, still together. A beautiful story. DC, and we're done.
Okay, awesome. No more to see here.
Let's get into it. In March of 77, Polanski was arrested in Los Angeles for the sexual assault of a 13-year-old named Samantha. She had modeled for him during a Vogue photo shoot the previous day around the swimming pool at the Bel Air home of Jack Nicholson. Polanski was indicted on 6 counts of criminal behavior, including rape, pled not guilty to all charges, was defended by tons of people in Hollywood. That's hard to believe, I know.
Very hard to believe.
All of Hollywood rallying around. It happens less. Samantha's attorney arranged a plea bargain. Hey, tell you what, plead guilty to 5 of the 6. We'll make a deal with the judge. You'll get probation. Figure your shit out, I guess. I don't know.
You'll pay us a lot of money.
That, absolutely. So Polanski pleads guilty to the charge of unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor. He's ordered to undergo psychiatric evaluation.
Well, that begs the question: what's lawful sexual intercourse with a minor? Right? Doesn't it beg the question?
If you're dating someone that chips rocks for a living, I think it's fine.
Yeah. Utah, Kansas. Yeah, keep going, chat. Nebraska, Iowa, Florida.
He's released from prison after 42 days, agrees to the plea bargain, and his penalty is to be time served along with his probation. However, He learns afterward that the judge, Lawrence Rittenband, has told some friends that he was going to disregard the plea bargain, and when they all stepped into court for sentencing, he was going to sentence Polanski to 50 years in prison. I'll see this man...
Who the fuck told him that?
So, I'll tell you. I'll see this man never gets out of jail. He told Polanski's friend, screenwriter Howard Koch. And if you don't believe Howard, Samantha's attorney confirms the judge changed his mind after he met in their chambers. Quote, he was going to sentence Polanski, rather than to time served, to 50 years. What the judge did was outrageous. We have agreed to a plea bargain, and the judge had approved it. Pretty fucked.
Pretty fucked, but also pretty lucky that he got that information leaked, because...
That's right.
What a fucking idiot judge. Keep your cards close to the vest, dummy.
Yeah, that's right.
Clarence? Was it Lawrence?
Go.
Clarence?
Spewing work secrets all over the place.
Jesus.
Polanski was told by his attorney that the judge could no longer be trusted and that the judge's representations were worthless. And Polanski made a decision telling one of his friends, I've made up my mind, I'm getting out of here. And on January 31st, the day before he was to be sentenced, he left the country, flew to London, one day later, settled at his home in France.
Dude, that's bad police work.
He just went everywhere.
Huge, like, highest profile prisoner that you could have, or not prisoner, but, you know.
I mean, come on. This guy is, this is happening, this is before Bundy by quite a bit, right? And they couldn't figure out the same guy was chopping up girls because they were in different states. So,
yeah, and he just opened the window and jumped out that one day, so.
That's right. And then,
after they caught him,
there was that
he's like, I'm out of here.
Left. Yeah. Went and sat in the woods for a while.
This place sucks. I'm out of here.
So Polanski, as a French citizen, was protected from extradition, and he's mostly lived in France since then. Since he fled the U.S. before his final sentencing, his charges were still pending. He has described what happened as fantasies of unhealthy minds are now treated as proven facts. So, we're not done. Because while living in France, making movies, he gets sued by his victim. Among other things, the suit alleges sexual assault, false imprisonment, seduction of a minor, intentional infliction of emotional distress. In 1993, he agrees to settle with the victim with a monetary payment. That kind of goes back and forth for a while. The only number that came out was that at one point he still owed her $604,000.
Ooh.
So she,
not too bad.
She at least got paid, and in 2008 stated, I don't wish for him to be held to further punishment or consequences.
She was probably just mad that, like, he fucked her, not Jack Nicholson, you know? Like, 70s Jack Nicholson. Terrific. Terrific. It's like Cuckoo's Nest, you know? It's like right around that time. It's like, oh, boy. This guy.
Look at this guy. A gentleman is never just let be. Right? 2009, arrested in Switzerland at the request of the United States. Defended by many prominent individuals, including Hollywood celebrities and European artists and politicians calling for his release. Jailed for over 2 months near Zurich. And then put under house arrest after that, after people were still mad. And then finally, in July of 2010, the Swiss officially rejected the request, declaring him a free man and releasing him from custody. To this day, he still remains the subject of an Interpol red notice that was issued in 1978.
Jesus. So Interpol's a bunch of pussies. Can't get their shit done.
Crazy that he's just chilling. So
they got McAfee. They got McAfee, and for what? But they can't get this motherfucker.
McAfee?
John McAfee. Maybe I'll bring him in as a gentleman.
Yeah, I don't know John McAfee. Yeah. Now, we heard that Harrison Ford accepted an award. We've heard from Ewan McGregor. He had support all over the place. Let's hear from a guy that we've kind of referenced so far, Quentin Tarantino.
All right.
How can you defend... See, I don't understand this. How come Hollywood embraces this madman, this director who raped a 13-year-old?
It's not statutory rape. You know, he had sex with a minor. All right, that's not rape. To me, when you use the word rape, all right, you're talking about violent, throwing him down. It's like one of the most violent crimes in the world. You can't throw, throwing
One
the
of
word
the
rape
most.
around is like throwing the word racist around. All right,
Okay,
it
okay.
just doesn't apply to everything that people use it for. All right, he was
Count the
guilty
Robin
of having
swaps.
sex with a minor. All right.
That she didn't want to have.
No, that was not
Robin
the case
swap.
at all. She wanted to have it.
Well,
and dated
the transcript-
dated the guy, and
She was 13.
and found out. Well, and by the way, we're talking about America's morals. We're not talking about the morals in Europe and everything.
Wait a second.
Morals
You
in
have
Europe,
sex
morals in China.
with a 13-year-old girl, and you're a grown man. You know that that's
Yeah.
wrong because
No,
Goes
Giving
on.
her booze and
I'm not. Look, she was down with it.
Spoken like a true man who is going to be taken down for the exact same shit any minute. Any minute.
So, DC, let's move on. Let's get some more defense of our gentleman here. This is from another Hollywood bigwig from just decades and decades of fame. Roman Polanski is a man who cares deeply about his art and its place in this world. What happened to him on his incredible path is filled with tragedy, and most men would have collapsed. Instead, he became a great artist and continues to make great films. I was with him the day he won the Legion of Honor in France, which was a spectacular day. I remember the incredible love and affection that people have for him. Whatever you think about the so-called crime, Polanski has served his time. I was involved by the film, and it was an amazing experience to see what people weep at the end of it. Warren Beatty and Robert Evans were there too, and you could feel the sense of injustice from these people who are part of Polanski's life. They know that at heart, he is a humanist. These are glowing words. Let's find out who wrote these.
Albert
Polanski has served
Einstein.
his time and must be freed by Harvey Weinstein.
Ah.
God damn it, Harvey! Motherfucker!
Is he not dead yet? Come on, you nominated him.
It's
Any
past
day now.
Cinco de Mayo. We missed it.
Any day now.
We missed it. So that was. I was like, oh, good defense.
Ah.
Let's.
I want Albert Einstein to be credited with every quote, even ones about like iPads. I just think that's so funny. Every time I see an Albert Einstein quote, I just want to punch somebody in the face. Like, that didn't make you smart for saying that. I'm gonna punch you now. Go ahead.
In 2010, British actress Charlotte Lewis said that Polanski had forced himself on her while she was auditioning for a role in Paris, but in 1983, when she was 16. However, she eventually gave a different account of events in an interview with News of the World. In the interview, she asserted that she had actually had a 6-month relationship with Polanski until she was 17. Quote, I knew that Roman had done something bad in the United States, but I wanted to be his mistress, she said. I wanted him probably more than he wanted me. In addition, Lewis never mentioned any sexual abuse after the initial claim, and she said that her relationship ended when Polanski introduced her to Warren Beatty, and she claimed they soon began an affair together. I just want to read about this because she sounds like a treat. Mm-hmm. Furthermore, she was cast in Polanski's 1986 film Pirates, appeared in the Cannes Film Festival on his arm years after the alleged incident, and in an interview after the film's release stated, I'd love to have a romantic relationship with him, and a physical one. You can't help but falling in love with him, but he didn't want me that way.
Yeah.
Gentleman is charming, DC.
Oh, my Lord.
Gets
Casey,
the
I don't know about you. When I was 13, I would have done anything to get with Tia Carrera. I don't know how old she was when I was 13, but she was probably in her 30s. Early 30s, I would guess, right? Anything. I would have done anything. I was 13. I would have known what I was doing. People are not, I would have known what I was doing. Yeah. Okay? I'm just saying. Nobody would have murdered her for it. There is a power imbalance when men do it to girls, and you just have to understand. You just can't, just like hitting girls. Can't fuck girls, can't hit girls. Hitting extends past the 18 I've found in my experience, but just come on. It's agreed upon. It's agreed upon.
No, it's
just wait. Just have patience, Or move to New York, because apparently 17 is the age of consent there. There's just too many people. I think
the numbers, they fluctuate.
Too many 17-year-olds were just gumming up the court works. You know, they had to. All right, fine. So many 17-year-olds just fuck. All right, 16 now. 16 now is off limits for now.
On
But we are becoming more Muslim, so it is working backwards at an astounding rate.
On October 30th, 2015, Polish judge Mazur denies a request by the United States to extradite Polanski once again, claiming it would be obviously unlawful to do so. In October of 2017, a woman named Renette Langer is interviewed by Swiss police, claiming that she was raped by Polanski in 1972. Marion Bernard comes out against Polanski, saying he assaulted her in 1975 when she was 10. In May of 2018...
Okay, that's the line.
Yep. See, there you go. DC's found the line.
I did not know what I was doing in 10. When I was 10, I wanted to make out with Clarissa Explains It All. So let's... That's a deep cut.
In
Gross, yeah. Thank you.
May of 2018, Polanski's removed from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, which, again, at a certain point, if you're a place that's been acknowledging Roman Polanski, at a certain point, don't you go, well, we can't take him out now?
Yeah. I mean, like, if it was, like, found out that Michael Jordan was just raping kids all the time, what, he's just no longer good at basketball? His shots just didn't go in because of that? No, it's separate. You have to judge them separately.
So,
for the rapist that he was and for the basketballist that he was. Michael Jordan raped kids.
Basketballist. He's both won and lost different libel suits against different publications, most notably defeating Vanity Fair. In November 2019, more accusations came out, including a French actress saying he raped her in 1975. And in April of 2021, it was announced that he'll have a new film called The Palace coming out. Take that, cancel culture. Can't be stopped, Roman Polanski, DC. You can't be stopped, literally, and in movies.
Yeah, no, well, yeah. When it's someone on the left, when it's one of them, it's fine. You'll bounce right back from that. It's like when Republicans get caught, cheating and shit like that. That's their deal, and being cucks or whatever conservatives like to do.
Never. DC, let's dive right into my honoraries.
Please do.
A guy giving a female gamer some shit on, I think this is CSGO, video game.
Okay.
He's giving her some shit, but he calms down as this clip goes. So here's my first honorary.
Okay.
I don't apologize to people like you. I believe in equality. I should treat you just like I treat another guy. Get over it, you bitch.
Okay. Should you please, eh?
You got me off the bomb twice, you cunt.
Ew. Yeah, 22 and you're acting like a 12-year-old and you're calling girls foul on the internet.
This is how you're spending the prime of your life.
Oh, okay. Hey, deciding we're gonna throw here, guys. Okay, well, it sounds like I pissed a lot of people off.
You're just passive-aggressive as fuck, dude. Like, just the way that you say things, I think you can come off a little bit better.
I'm all for comms and shit, but you're just...
Why are women playing video games?
Call us all this shit. You're like, oh,
okay,
what's like...
that. All right,
no, not besides that. You should apologize for that. Like, you're a fucking
Shut
bitch.
up, you fat purple hair bitch, you stupid fucking cunt, shut up!
Well done. Well handled. Yeah. What?
Staying calm is the most important thing.
I hope that like those girls are not actually playing. It's just their boyfriends playing, and this is the most genius way to troll fucking people and get in their heads. It's just to have their girlfriend sitting right next to them, pretending to be a woke cunt and just saying shit into the microphone to piss people off. Because why are you playing? What are you doing?
What a fun idea! And if you and the wife aren't doing that soon, I'm disappointed. DC, my next honorary, I don't really know who the honorary is. It's the driver for sure. The passenger, I think, gets an honorary, and I think the guys outside might get an honorary as well.
Okay.
This is a couple weeks ago. Two dudes rolling around in a, maybe not brand name Brinks truck, but rolling around in a Brinks truck.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. Fucking shoots out the driver's side window.
Yep.
It's in South Africa.
Yep. So that's
Oh
where we
my
start.
God.
We start with some gunfire on the truck. Let's go to our second step. What do we do next? Oh, we pull out a gigantic gun.
That black dude is so shook too. He's like, "Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh shit!" So the third.
They
step,
told me this was only like 5% chance this would happen.
Of course, this was going to happen. The third step was to run away, of course, or drive away. However, they do run into some traffic, so they're forced to come to a stop, spin around, and now be facing the attackers. Now, you've seen this, but if for anybody that hasn't, you can watch the passenger window for some bullets going by, and you can also watch the reflection behind them of their windshield.
They're gonna shoot. They're gonna fucking shoot.
So this looks like a bunch of shit that you don't want to be in.
Right.
Now, this video is one of the greatest cliffhangers of all time because they get stuck, white boy's got a plan, and this is where it ends. Yeah, give me the gun.
Yeah.
And the video ends.
And the video ends. Yep.
And that's it.
And they lived happily ever after.
So who
Except they
knows?
still live in South Africa, so that sucks.
They kept living. Our next gentleman, DC, is this guy. This is Takashi Miyagawa.
I'll bet.
And he has been busted for allegedly scamming 35 different women.
Yes.
With whom he pretended to be in a serious relationship, telling all of them he had a different birthday to get gifts.
Casey, this is a travesty. I am ashamed of humanity at this story. Oh my God. Japan, they threw his ass in jail, dude.
They arrested him for this.
Fucking threw his ass in jail for fraud. It's not fraud. It's called a lie. He could have told all 35 girls his birthday and still got the same amount of presents. He just staggered them over the year. Who the fuck cares? The real problem is that the police station got 35 angry phone calls and they wanted it to stop. So Japan is getting woke now too, and men can no longer trick women. Women have to no longer have to just learn to get along in life and not get tricked. They are entitled not to get tricked.
That's right.
As they are here.
That's a good assessment of it. DC.
Yes.
This guy's a gentleman. I could read the story, but you guys can look it up. That's enough. I'm so excited. I need to get into my last honorary. There is very few things that you and I have laughed harder at in our time hanging out together than musically based videos. DC.
Oh yes,
now,
music fails.
There are many reasons to not have a trumpet play at your wedding.
It's a trumpet. That's the first reason.
That's one of them.
And number two, it's a wedding. So that takes care of all of it.
Yes. Yeah, of course. There's a lot of reasons.
Oh, wait. Was it a Mexican wedding? Sorry, I'm not. I was being a little disrespectful. If it's a Mexican wedding, I want only trumpets.
Only trumpets. Well, you decide if you want this trumpet at your wedding, everybody.
I will.
Let's find
Oh my God. All right, so a Mexican wedding. That was appropriate. That was appropriate to have a trumpet. Casey, I really hope Like when I started hearing that guy play, I was like, oh no, their grandson is playing, or like, oh, their son is playing, and like, I hope he has no relation to the wedding party at all. I hope they hired him and paid him to do that because it makes it 1,000 times funnier.
It definitely does. Oh fuck!
It's like the photographer taking all the pictures with the cap on. It's like the perfect analogy. The build up to it, and he couldn't hit the first note. And it's like, oh, this is gonna go south real quick.
It goes dying dog very quickly.
And the guests are all just like, oh yes.
Everyone else hears this. Yes. Oh, we're gonna talk about this the whole day. Well, all right, here I got it. It's like when my grandfather died at his funeral, the priest called him by the wrong name for half an hour.
Was it your dad who was like, it's Carl or something like that?
But we all sat there for like at least 15 Charleses. Like we just sat there.
Oh god!
Like he's got to be done saying the name. Like there's no more times he'll say it, right? And this kid, it's like this is the last note, right? Like no one wants to stop you, but like you gotta stop. Like, you can't keep playing.
My lord! Yeah, it's too funny. It's too funny. Public embarrassment is the best type. It should always be public, I think, and that's the point of this podcast. To embarrass ourselves publicly, and those that we talk about, hopefully.
That's right. That's right. All right, DC, that is it for me.
Oh,
it's
lovely.
your turn.
Casey, I'm gonna skimp on the honoraries, and head straight into my gentleman because it's kind of click whoring. But
sure.
My gentleman, if you would for me, go ahead and play the first video here. Yeah, there you go. Where is he? He's okay. Here we go. There he is. There he is. Josh Duggar. Josh Duggar, oldest of 19 goddamn children.
Jesus,
that was an immediate family photo.
I know he's in the news. I know nothing. Like I know he's
right.
in hot water, and I know a little bit as to why, but I didn't read it because I knew this was going to happen. I knew you were bringing him. So.
This is like a DC Gentleman nomination light, but because he's a celebrity, it's gonna get more attention, unfortunately. So we'll go through this, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So Josh was born March 3rd, 1988, to James Robert Duggar, who decided, James Robert, good name, strong name. Nah, I'm going by Jim Bob. Jim Bob Duggar.
God damn it.
And his wife in Arkansas, a town that I won't try to remember. Like
it makes sense now. Though.
Looked at it more than twice.
You legally can't go by James Robert in Arkansas. If you're in Arkansas, right. You are Jim Bob.
You're Jim Bob Duggar. He was homeschooled. He got the Arkansas GED. Who knows if that's valid in any other state. And then did not go to college. Shocker, I know, to everybody.
All of this is this is like Nazi level on brand so far for Arkansas.
Yeah. He met his wife at 19, so pretty much an old man in Arkansas years, and they were married at 21. Casey, the Discovery Channel, as you can imagine, this is what's so funny to me. The Discovery Channel started following his family because reality shows were just like booming at this point in 2004, 2005, right? They start following his family that had, I think at the time, 13 or 14 kids, maybe 16 kids. I can't remember. And he was 17 years old. So before he was even an adult, TV crews were in his house like the freak show his family was, showing the world what was going on. The show became wildly popular, and around 2004, 2005, they had other shows branching off. So he and his wife were married in 2009. I want to say. So that show branched off.
11, right? You said he got married at 21.
Yes. I'm sorry. So he got married in
2011.
2011. Is that?
So he was born in 88, right?
No, 09.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 09. He was 21 when they got married, right? Yeah, so 09. So got married in 09. They had a spin-off show. Discovery had a whole bunch of other shows going to talk about his parents and what they were doing, weddings, freaking kids' birthdays, all this kind of shit are different Discovery shows. Like, this is a cash cow, right? Because his mom was literally a cow. Just pumping out kids over and over and over and over. Oprah even invited the family to be on her show in 2006 at the year 1 or 2 mark of the show really kicking off. And somebody on Oprah's staff got an anonymous message that you shouldn't have the Duggars on your show. Josh Duggar is a pedophile, or at least has admitted to sexual assault of minors. There's that you can't have them on your show. And we've already talked to the Arkansas family, whatever, right? Department of Family Services. Oprah axes the interview, tells the Duggars, take a hike. We're not going to have you on our show. And that was really all that was made of it. They kept doing the show. Josh Duggar started his own family, eventually having 6 kids of his own. We'll get back to him and his rabbit ways. But he started getting very heavily involved in
children?
Politics. Yeah, children. But politics and lobbying for conservatism, right? Conservatism. So the story, and I'll get back to this, that Oprah's staffers were told about is kind of outlined in his Wikipedia, and it's crazy. So I'm just going to read it because it's all great. I've already curated it, so hopefully it won't sound much like a Wikipedia article. But here we go. So when Josh was 14, 15 years old in 2002 to 2003, he was taking advantage of some of his younger siblings, and on May 21st, 2015, a report by the magazine In Touch Weekly stated that Jim Bob Duggar had told the Arkansas State Police that Josh Duggar molested 5 underage girls between 2002 and 2003 when he was 14 and 15 years old. The police report indicated that 4 of the 5 molestation victims were Duggar's siblings. Well, I mean, who else are you gonna? I mean, there's fucking 16 of them. You can't even
There's probably strangers in that house.
Yeah, there's strangers in the house. Who wants to meet that many people? I mean, it's exhausting. You know, you have to keep up conversations with so many people inside your own house. Who wants to go out and try to find somebody who's, legal to hang out with? Like somebody his own age, apparently. So Jim Bob Duggar reported that he learned in March 2002 that Josh had touched the breasts and genital region of his sisters on multiple occasions while they were sleeping. So a gentleman is always courteous. He does it. It does it in their sleep, so they didn't know about it. Jim Bob, in fact, he admitted to his parents that he did it. Otherwise, he never would have got caught for those things. Apparently, allegedly.
Oh, okay. He gave himself up.
He gave himself up. Is the story. Jim Bob said that Josh was disciplined at home. In March 2003, Duggar's parents learned of additional incidents and victims, including the touching of a babysitter. That's bold. Reaching under the dress of a younger sister who was in his lap and cornering a sister in the laundry room to reach under her clothing. You imagine that scene?
I don't want
to. Cornered his sister in the laundry room like, I got you now. Like, what a fucking creep. Jim Bob Duggar. At this time, the Duggars' father brought the issue to the elders of their church. So that always goes well. That never goes wrong.
And they looked at him and said, "You are one of us."
Yeah. Jim Bob Duggar informed police that he enrolled Josh in a program consisting of counseling and physical labor after consulting with his church's leadership. Michelle Duggar stated that he was sent away from home for a period of 3 months. So basically they just sent him to a shit summer camp for diddling his fucking sisters, 4 of his sisters, and 1 babysitter, I guess. Which, if he was 14 or 15 at the time, and he's getting a babysitter, that's embarrassing, number one. And also, she was probably like 18 or 19. So again, I go back to it. If I was 14 or 15 and my parents were like, yeah, we're getting a 17, 18, 19-year-old girl in here to babysit you, presumably it was a girl, sold. Where do I sign?
100%.
Where do I sign? Is it cool if she just hangs out in my room and we, fucking... So stupid. So yeah, he sent off for 3 months to work for a family friend who was remodeling a building. When Josh Duggar returned home in July 2003, his father took him to meet James W. Hutchins, an Arkansas state trooper and family acquaintance. According to Jim Bob, Josh admitted to Hutchins that he had committed molestation and apologized. The end of that sentence. And apologized. Speaking via a lawyer, Hutchins disputed part of the account, saying he was only told of a single act of incestuous molestation, and that if he would have responded differently, if he had known of additional instances and victims. Yeah, just one incestuous molestation. That's fine.
One is
totally fine. Hutchins did not take any official actions. Yeah, chat, fool me once. Molest me once. Shame on you, but molest me twice. Shame on my parents. Where the fuck are they?
We know where they are.
Yeah, apparently.
They're either in labor or preparing for it.
Or preparing for future labor. They
right.
love that labor. Let's see. Would have responded differently if he had known. Hutchins did not take any official action, but reportedly gave Josh a, quote, stern talk. Arkansas, that'll learn him.
Stop.
Arkansas.
Stay out of the laundry room. Stay out of the laundry room.
No touching here or here or here. Do you hear? So
yes, Jim Bob Daddy.
Yes, me Jim Bob Daddy. Oh, I'm not talking to you, son. He's talking to you. Oh, that's right. Oh, the Jim Bob Daddy. Arkansas law states that law enforcement officers, as mandated reporters, are required to alert the Arkansas Child Abuse Hotline when learning of sexual abuse. Hutchins was later arrested and convicted on unrelated charges of child pornography and is serving a 56-year prison sentence. So that has a happy ending and also not entirely mysterious of an ending. So that's what Oprah's people were told, and that was in 2006.
By the way, chat said racist Oprah.
Yeah, racist Oprah. Not having those white Duggars on. Jesus Christ. Never mind. I disavow my own joke. This is in my head, and it's never going to be told. So, so the Duggars go on, and after Oprah, they do their shows. He becomes a political advisor, and he's working with like Mike Huckabee and other prominent Republicans that are espousing these family values and stuff like that. But everybody kind of knows, and it's like rumored that Josh is a fucking weirdo, right? And in 2015, like I said, this article from US Weekly or whoever comes out and destroys his career. He's done with all politics. He resigns from all his boards. He gets all his shows canceled. TLC or Discovery Channel or whoever has them at this point cancels all their shows. And he enrolls or admits himself or whatever into a Christian rehab, where apparently he's just going to be like chilling and saying he's reading the Bible and praying and all this stuff. Or really he's just getting like massages and continental breakfasts and Danishes and whatever he wants all the time. Golfing.
I feel like meth rehab for meth addicts would be more helpful than Christian rehab for sex criminals.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's in porn rehab. with no cell phone probably and no imagination where he could just imagine porn and jerk off because none of us have ever done that in a pinch. So he's in this.
Starts with a pinch.
Ends with a bang. So August he checks himself into this porn rehab. 3 months later, he gets sued for sexual assault by this lady. Go ahead and show the next image if you would, Casey. That is Danica Dillon.
Makes sense.
Porn star.
Yep.
A porn star who claims that he left her emotionally and nearly physically damaged. I have perused some of her work, and I'll just say this: I've seen Duggar. Like I've seen him walk around. I've seen how bow-legged or not he is. He did not do her any damage at all. None. Zero damage was done to her at all. But she capitalized because now this story came out. Everybody was running hit pieces, and it was time to cash in because cancel culture was just starting to get hot in 2015. Just starting to get hot, Casey. I blame the Kardashians, as I blame them for most all of
OJ.
today's
DC, we've covered
society.
this. It's not their fault. It's OJ's fault.
That's racist.
Or
That's
it's the
racist.
Bills'
It's
fault.
okay
Sorry,
to be.
it's the
It's okay to
Buffalo
be
Bills'
against
fault.
Armenians. It's okay to be against Armenians. He is an Armenian, holds the third worst position on our list in Maddox. So it's okay to hate Armenians, and Kardashians are Armenian. So it's their fault. OJ was innocent, as we found out.
That's right.
He was acquitted.
Always.
So yeah, he gets arrested. Sued for sexual assault. It was at a strip club that this assault happened.
Yep.
And it was consensual. And also, it was proved that he wasn't even in the same area as the time she was alleging the assault, so she dropped the case.
Oh.
And now is working at Walmart in Arkansas still.
Everything in this story has been exactly the way it should have been.
Yes.
The stripper
And she has an only.
The stripper
And
named
she has.
Danica Daniels ended up working at Walmart. Yes. Yep.
And her actual name, I think, is like Ashley Simpson. So there you go.
Jim Bob. Yeah. Perfect.
Jim Bob, Ashley Simpson. And what else was funny about her? Oh, she has an OnlyFans that hasn't had anything posted to it since 2019. So that also holds true.
I didn't know
she was a
OnlyFans
mother.
around in 2018.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. So she was a mother of two when all these allegations went down in the lawsuit and shit. Now she's a married mother of four. So some cuck found her after years of 13-year-old violent masturbation and
he
pumped out two more
He
kids.
sacrificed himself to save her.
Yeah, I don't know how much saving her he did, but he definitely did a lot of sacrificing of himself. So, once again, he's not really acquitted, but holding true, a gentleman's always acquitted, and he gets away with this. So, he lays low, has 6 kids, like I said. He's got an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 1.5-year-old, and on April 23rd, 2021, Casey, they announced that their 7th will be coming this fall. But on April 30th, actually this happened. Go ahead and play the next image for me, if you would. Oh boy. Okay, that's not good. That's just 5 days later, 6 days later. Josh Duggar, formally charged with receiving and possessing child porn, pleads not guilty. Now, those are not sober eyes, Patroness. You're right in the chat. But it is a pedo smile. As you can see very clearly, he is a pedophile through and through. The caseworker for the feds who jacked his shit in a raid said that the child pornography he was in possession of was top 5 most horrific child porn he had ever had to assess. So, ranging from 18-month-old to somewhere under 12. However, Casey, what I don't understand is, and play the next image for me. This was the next day. Josh Duggar update on Twitter. Fox 24, the local affiliate there in Arkansas, is waiting on the U.S. District Attorney's Office to send out the indictment. Duggar will have a bond hearing May 5th, which is 3 days from this recording, 3 days ago from this recording, at 1:30 p.m. Judge said if bond is granted, Duggar will need to live in a home without minors. The judge also had this to say, which I thought was really funny. She said, quote, I recommend that you govern your actions by thinking about where you might go and who you might encounter. The judge advised Duggar during the hearing, quote, you might not ought to go to birthday parties, family dinners, church activities, these things that might risk violating this condition. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor, he replied. Don't go to any birthday parties, Mr. Duggar. How about just throw him in jail? How about don't let him hang out at home where there are children hanging out the windows in this guy's life?
Yeah,
Jesus
there's a few things that could lead to it, like a alcohol problem, but anything that you do that gets you to a point where people are saying, listen, just don't go to any more birthday parties. Like, you fucked up. Like, you've done really badly if you're being told to avoid all birthday parties.
You know what? It would just look better if you ever hear that. If you ever hear that pretext to something someone's going to tell you, you've embarrassed them. It would just look better if... Okay, anyway. So, Casey, this story has a happy ending because woke culture is finally... Like, the pendulum has swung so far with woke culture that now they're eating their own on the way back. And it's fantastic. If you will, the next image for me. This is a report that I just loved. TLC faces furious backlash in the wake of Josh Duggar's arrest as critics demand it pulls all the family shows and warn that any paycheck sent to Jim Bob could be used to pay for the sex pest defense in child porn case. Well, no shit, but anything he does could be used for anything bad. That's the most retarded thing ever. It's like, no, I know you have contracts that you have to legally uphold, and if you breach them, you will be liable for huge lawsuits and losses. But, hear us out, we'll murder you if you pay him for what you've already promised to pay him. Because his son is a pedophile, and the money could be used for pedophile purposes. You may not use that money. Also, we will dictate where you use your money in future cases if we think that money is going to pedophiles, or if we suspect that they're kind of weird, or if they happen to not have a whole bunch of melatonin in their skin. Taking it from them. It's done because we decided it. So this is good. TLC gets fucked because of this. It's great. I love it. And eventually, like Caitlyn Jenner, they're just going to say, fuck you. Actually, I don't care what your politics are or what your rhetoric is. I'm gonna be Republican because it's funny. And I'm going to win the governorship of California. And I urge all of you, if you vote on anything, vote in the Hall of Gentlemen voting booth, but then register to vote as Californian. They're liberal as fuck. It wouldn't be hard. You could probably just mail them a letter to just say to California on the envelope and then just say like vote. Just put vote on it to California. This is my vote. It would work. You could vote for anybody in California doing that. That's their legal policy on mail-in votes. I'm pretty sure I read that. But seriously though, guys, just to end kind of on a sober note, but if seriously, if you guys or anybody you know have ever experienced sexual assault, call 321 POV fuck and tell us all about it because that shit is so funny. Okay, and that is Josh Duggar. Everybody,
DC. quite the nomination. Tell everyone where they can find the things.
If you guys were to stumble upon www.twogoddamngentlemen.com, there you would find the episodes, the voting booth, the Patreon link, the voicemail link, the Twitter links, and what else do you need? Go to YouTube, search Two Goddamn Gentlemen. Go to Twitter at Two Gentlemen Pod. We're all over the place.
That's right. And if you get into the Patreon, don't forget 10 p.m. this coming Thursday, Ladies of the Night DC. We brought a couple gentlemen. Next week, we'll bring a couple more as the search for the ultimate gentleman continues.
Something just happened very bad, is what happened, guys.
Wolves aren't gay, USA.
That's what you get for talking all that shit, you fucking asshole.
So there you go. Isn't that a great story, ladies and gentlemen?
Andre is shocked.
Meeting adjourned.